should Brazil be doing about the war in the Middle East and, for example, in Ukraine? I would say right now, nothing. Trump was asked what he thought about the elections in Germany. And his response was, I'm the president of America. We have a lot of problems here. Something on that line. That should be the same answer that Lula would give to anyone. Lula has made some very harsh comments about President Trump before the elections and even after the election, including the harsh exchange at the Oval Office. What we forget to think is there is an issue between Brazil and US. Brazil, we live in a place that now we have social media. So I want peace also in Brazil. I believe we all, and when I say we all in Brazil, both right and left, we should just get along, work together. Because while people are fighting and discussing, for example, the impeachment of Lula or anything else, or the impeachment of Justice Moraes, the people will suffer. Prices are continue to go up, and we need peace, and we need to work together. There should be a clear line because all these people, they have swore an oath to protect the Constitution, to protect the people, to really work for the people. They're public servants. So if I had a magic wand, I would like Lula, President Lula, to bring President Bolsonaro to the government and do a coalition government. Forget impeachment, forget fighting, forget a stupid, really ridiculous indictment of the former president. This is clearly lawfare. And we are living in a moment that people have access to information. Nobody really buys this anymore. But I agree with Senator Alcolumbri, that he's the president of the Senate and he doesn't want to bring any discussion about the impeachment of the justice. It is time to peace. It's time to Justice Alexandre de Moraes. And my wife asked me, would you really gonna say this? And yes, because if we don't have the courage to say what's right, there's no point in having life. And this is really the point. I have a daughter, I have a son that's gonna be born in the next couple weeks. So I want him to live in Brazil or in the US or anywhere in the world that he has freedom. So I, unlike some of my friends, I don't want the impeachment of Lula. I don't want the conviction of Bolsonaro. I don't want the impeachment of Justice Moraes. I want everybody to stop. Follow the law. Follow the letter of the law. Follow the Brazilian constitution. Stop meddling with other countries. Stop trying to circumvent rules, legal rules, because it is nobody really buys this anymore. There's no attack to democracy. No, when even the New York Times or the Washington Post, very left-wing, left-leaning journals, are really saying that the actions of our Supreme Court here in Brazil are the biggest threat to democracy. It's time to stop. So, just like South Africa, we need to come to a table. Just like this, we need to stop calling each other's names. And this goes, I really like the work of Senator Cleitinho from Minas Gerais, Nicolas from Bolsonaro, but it's time to every single one sit on this table and work for Brazil. Because I understand the tempers are high, the emotions, but it's time to sit on a table and negotiate a different peace. Just like we want peace in Ukraine and we want peace in the Middle East, we now should want peace in Brazil because nobody really wins with all this fighting, with all this inaction. Prices are rising, inflation is going up, everything. So it is time to put to an end. And you know what? We will have we We will have elections in 2 years. Let's settle this the next 2 years. But let's show the world one of the best abilities that we have in Brazil. You know what it is? To work together. Here we have Jews and Arabs, even in Sao Paulo, living side by side in peace, working, going to the same schools with no separation. This is what we can show the world, that we can bring the right and the left, the conservatives and the progress, well, the conservatives and the woke. We can bring them together and we can work on things we agree. We can reform government, and most of it, I believe we can work for the people. Join us in this conversation because change is needed. And if we don't, the price is much higher.